Hello folks, it's been a while, about 2 months, since I set up this tank. And I wanted to give you a rundown on how it's doing and the stuff that I've been doing to kind of keep it up and moving forward, what I'm trying to do with this tank. And here we see the newest addition, a baby albino bristlenose pleco. I brought him in here to help me with the algae on the glass. He came here to do two things, look cute and eat algae. And there's plenty of algae left. So as you can see here, the tank has grown in quite a lot. Obviously the CO2 has done really well. It done a lot to really make this thing go. The stem plants don't need a whole lot of encouragement, but this particular Lewiggia, I think is what it is a really easy one to grow. It's one that grows quite prolifically in all my other tanks. In fact, I brought it up because I was worried that these crypts down here would just never catch on before the algae took them over. So the hair algae that was getting on there and kind of being annoying. So what I wanted was something to compete with this hair algae growing on the crypts down below. And I've stopped pulling out algae off the crypts from time to time and just kind of let it grow up in big patches. The patches seem to be easier to pull up, and believe it or not, there's less and less of them to deal with. Now these stem plants can be sort of a pain to deal with. They grow really fast. Really the best maintenance for them tends to be pull off the very top of it and then replant it down below. But I think with the injection of the CO2 and the fact that it's got a light kind of dedicated just to the back of the tank, it is just growing like crazy. It's so thick in there that I feel like I can trim it no problem and not have to worry too much about it. The other thing I'll have in here, you'll notice from time to time, is cherry shrimp. I have a lot of cherry shrimp in here. I've been migrating ones from my 16-gallon, the Fluval Spec 16-gallon. I've been bringing them up here because ultimately I'm trying to break that tank down. I keep finding shrimp in there, so I'm leaving it up. But for now, I've just been adding shrimp like crazy to this thing, just to help me with the algae and to be an interesting pop of color inside of this tank. Here we're going to have a look at my goodeids. Now the photography on this has to be slowed down and it's a little blurry because these things are just super fast and they will not slow down. They're still sort of juveniles. They're just starting to get their color. These are red-tailed goodeids. I don't know the collection point or really a whole lot about them. They are something that I got through our club. See, our club has this policy where you can bring things sort of like a potluck. You can bring things to donate, and they go on this donation table. So the things on the donation table are given away as prizes. They draw tickets, and you draw numbers, and when they call out your number, you can go up to the table, pick something to take home. And I've brought home a number of plants and fish that I probably wouldn't have looked for in a pet store. So that's pretty cool. So as we look at the bottom half of the tank, it's quite dark right now. The plants have grown up and just gotten super, super thick at the top. And this is usually when you know it's time to trim. If you let that go, these will get real viney, all the leaves will fall off, and it'll just kind of look real ugly in the back. Really the thing to do would be to trim this about halfway down and just kind of let it all grow back, or pull it all out and replant it with the top. But I really want to do a donation at the club today. I'd like to bring 2 big bags of this Lewiggia plant, and I have a feeling that it's going to grow back in just fine. As you can see, it's really nice and thick on the top. It's completely covering up the light, a lot of the light. What I like about this tank is you can slide these lights back and forth, and it makes it really super easy to get in there and do work when you want to do it without necessarily bringing the light out. It's really hard to do work on a tank where you have to actually take the light all the way out because you can't see what you're doing. It's nice too, the way I've got this hardscape in the middle. I'm able to move it a little bit forward and a little bit backward. Another downside of these stem plants is they leave a lot of, they slough off a lot of leaves. So you'll end up with a lot of debris, especially doing a trim like this. You're going to have a lot of things floating around. You're also going to see some red root floaters if you look really close. They're kind of mixed in there together. So this is the tank after the trim. It looks really nice. Of course, it'll look even prettier when it grows in a little bit more and those red leaves really start to frame the anubias around the middle. I'm really happy with this tank. It looks really nice. I like this form factor too. It's a little bit taller, so you can do a little bit more with it, a little bit showier, I guess. It also lets me keep the light from blasting the crypts down below, which I think actually do better when it's a little bit darker down below. At least my other ones seem to react a little bit better with the lower light. All the fish are doing really good. I've started feeding brine shrimp. So I've got some baby brine shrimp that I'm throwing in there, and they're growing like crazy. And hopefully I'll have some babies soon. Nothing yet. I haven't had any like breeding them yet, but it kind of, they're just now getting their color. I'm guessing that they're sort of getting into their breeding age, and maybe I don't have much longer to wait. And here's a couple of bags to take to the club. Some lucky person at my club is going to get a bunch of plants, and I'm excited to be able to donate something like that. Now, folks, if you've made it this far, be sure to click like. I'd love to see you again, so be sure to subscribe too. And until next time, follow your bliss, keep a clean tank, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.